Hi, I'm Susan. Before I talk to me, I'd like to introduce the season. It is October. It's towards the end of, it's in the fall, but it's also, we had our first snow on the ground in the valley today, and it wasn't much. By the time I got up, it was a little slush on the ground. I think that I'm going to call that the beginning of winter. It feels like winter right now, a little bit, where the sap will start to go into the trees, the nutrients in the plants will start going back into the roots. And part of the process I'm going to ask you here is to also go internal. And so nature will start helping you internalize things. My name is Susan, and I have a lot of experience and training in resiliency things. Resiliency itself, healing. I wanted to, do I want a healing channel? No. Is it healing what I do? Yes. Is it the only thing? No. Let's go for resilience because it's a little more encompassing. And I have 25 years in the Army. I'm a master resilience trainer in the Army. I cannot teach that material because of agreements I made with the Army and agreements that the Army made with the University of Pennsylvania. That material is out there though, and I can teach similar and the same in other languages, but we'll probably go deeper than that, have a broader base than that material anyway. I have a Master's of Acupuncture. I have a post-baccalaureate certificate in Chinese herbs. I also have done apprenticeships and in a healing that was passed down from Native American and other indigenous traditions. There's a lot to be gained from martial arts experience that I've come to. And then I'm a geek on this stuff. This is what I geek out on. So there's been a lot of books. I also have a really gnarly case of PTSD myself. I have had significant trauma. And then in the Army, I had a head injury in 2010, which really amped up my anxiety and balance and different things. Energy issues. It was after that I got out, and that's when I got my education. I had an acupuncture practice, and then me and my family moved to Wyoming and took care of my dad until he passed away in 2020. I had long COVID, and I haven't been able to function full-time since. I was getting better. I had daily debilitating migraines and really, really bad PTSD, and I was getting better. The Army made me get the vaccine, and then I got way worse again. And so I'm not able to work. I'm hoping that with my skill set and the need for my skill set, so that these things are constantly in practice, that I can offer a real world view of resiliency. It's not pretty. It hurts sometimes. But I always stand back up. So I can offer you a real world, in the weeds, in the mud view of resiliency. And hopefully that does the world some good. It does you some good, does your communities and families some good. I will get a Patreon account. Actually, I have a Patreon account, but I'll set up tiers where I can actually, if you make contributions to help keep me going, then I can offer benefits with each tier of contributions. Until then, I have a Venmo that's by the same name as this account, Silk Thread Resiliency. And you can make contributions and keep this channel going and make it so that I don't have to focus my attention elsewhere. I hope that this channel serves you And the thing is what did migraines and PTSD do to my purpose? If my purpose was to bring people awareness to parts of themselves, and the parts of themselves, aware of the divine, and more balance, and more responsibility, more resiliency, more healing, more safety in the world. And how did migraines and PTSD take that away? It didn't. So I still have to do something. I still have to teach this stuff. All right. So part of the importance of practicing is learning these techniques, and you practice one for a while, and it kind of it changes. It starts to shift you, and then you practice another one for a while, and it starts to shift you, and then practice another one for a while, or it will start to shift you. And this is the invitation. Okay, I want you to understand one of the most important things in resilience is that every time you go back out in the world, every time you go back out in your communities and your interactions with other people, it can be supported by an internal process. Okay, so after the winter's over, the grass will come back up, the sap will come back out to the outsides of the trees, the leaves will grow again on the trees that lose their leaves. There's this internal process that's happening. Okay, in the winter we have, the nature of winter is perseverance on the yang side. The yin side is rest, regeneration, renewal, and accountability. And so you don't want to shortchange these internal processes. When we experience something outside of us, there's the thing that happened, and this is a continuum of abstraction. When we experience things outside of us, there's the thing that happened. There is the sensations that we had. There's the associations. Well, this reminded me of when I was a kid and this happened. The conclusions we have, well, those things are bad, or those things are always good. And watch out for those always and never words. They can be cruel to yourself and others. But what I want you to do is notice that there's something happened, and what you say happened. The saying isn't the thing. Okay? Lao Tzu said, what was he said? Oh, I forgot. Oh, the Tao that can be named is not the eternal Tao. So there's a lot to that. I'm not going to be a historian, and I'm not going to be an expert on the books. We might do some Bible studies too. We might go into the Tao Te Ching, do some other things. But I'm not an expert on the books. But I am really good at skilled inquiry. So let's talk about observation. And so what I want you to observe is there's the thing that you see, there's the things that you observe outside of you, there's an internal happening, there's an internal process. Okay, how do you know you're hungry? Do you have a pain in your stomach? Is there heat? How do you know you're angry? Is there hardness? How do you know you're in love? Is there softness? Is there warmth? Is there spreading? So I want you to think about those processes this week or this month or however long it takes, and observe everything inside of you and slow those reactions down. And I am so much more patient as a parent and better parent, because if my son upsets me, my usually, not always, unfortunately, my first go-to is to notice what's going on inside myself. Did I get hot? Did something hurt? Did something burn? Does my nose itch? It doesn't matter. Develop that somatic language, write it down and observe it, and you're going to start repatterning how your brain works and slowing things down. All right, take care of yourself, nourish your spirit. You're going to notice things that, oh my goodness, I feel so much better. I feel better in candlelight or warm light or whatever it is with this fuzzy blanket. And notice those things and nourish your spirit. Notice your food, what goes on inside your body when you're with your sensations with your food, and nourish yourself that way. Anyway, until we go on, please hit like and subscribe and the alarm and do all the things that they, us YouTubers like you to do. And also hit me up on Venmo if you want to contribute to my livelihood. And if you think that this is worth